Good evening, everybody. Thank you, Byron. We're going to go ahead and get started tonight. We'll call the meeting to order at 7:05. The Pledge of Allegiance is going to be led by Mr. Josh Hunt. We are not in possession of a flag tonight, so please face north.
We pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Josh. Okay, thought for the day. Mr. Palmy.
Make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give. Sir Winston Churchill.
Man of many quotes. Thank you very much, Brian. Additions and corrections to the agenda. I have a couple right off the bat. Byron Meyer is going to be presenting the University of Michigan C.S. Mott Children's Hospital tonight. That will go right after introductions. We will not have a Newcomer of the Month award, and the JC of the Trimester award should be changed to Convention Awards. So as far as any other additions or corrections, Karen, do you have any?
Nope, I'm good, thank you.
Okay, Ed? I did not, I did. Okay, and Scott? Nope. And Jerry? All right, cool. All right, so we will go into introductions. The question of the night is, what is your favorite Halloween treat or trick? You can pick either one. We'll just count out by 4, and group 1 will meet up here, group 2 here, 3 is backed by the sign-in sheets, and 4 is backed by the food. So we'll count off. We'll start with Ed. 2. 1. Okay. 2. 3. Joe.
What are we going up to?
4.
1,
2. 3.
4.
Michelle.
1, 2.
3, 4, 1.
2, 3.
Lindsay's next.
3, 4. 1, 2,
3.
4.
Okay. Brian, you're 1.
2.
4. And Scott is 1. All right. Can we kick it?
You're okay with So did I. Roundabout way.
Everybody take your seats. Mr. Byron Meyer, who needs no introduction now.
Please. If you don't know me, better for you than me. Joking.
We will present the University of Michigan C.S. Mott Children's Hospital. Take it away, Byron.
So thank you, everyone. My day-to-day job, 2 big things that I get to do is truly, my joke is that I play Santa Claus at C.S. Mott Children's Hospital. I handle all the non-monetary donations, so the books, the games, the toys, the blankets, all the fun stuff that people want to donate to our hospital. I get to disperse throughout with our Child and Family Life Department. So that's kind of my joke of being with the Santa Claus. But just almost 1 year ago, we're coming up on the anniversary for on December 4th, C.S. Mott Children's Hospital. We do not serve applesauce at our place. We're not the Mott's Children's Hospital, just so people clarify. Yes, it's a joke, but everyone does call us Mott's, just like Myers and Kroger's, but you don't go there. So the new hospital. This is an outside kind of shooting from the Arbor, if people know it. The new hospital is a brand new 12-story inpatient tower as well as a 9-story outpatient clinic tower. We have 1.1 million square feet of fun and excitement. It is an amazing building. And what you're looking at right here is this is the southeast corner of the hospital. Definitely, I kind of found it kind of funny is that U of M, we couldn't go out, so we had to go up. So going from an 8-story building to this, it really is amazing. The hospital itself has 348 inpatient rooms. We have 16 operating rooms now. Thinking about some of the other things, I'm clarifying to patients that have been in the old hospital to the new hospital. But for me, it is just an amazing place. When you walk into the front door of the new C.S. Mott Children's Hospital, this is what you would come into. It is the Charles C. Woodson lobby. Some of you might know Charles Woodson as the former Heisman Trophy winner for the University of Michigan, current Green Bay Packer. 3 years ago on Thanksgiving, as his Packers blew out our Lions, he was nice enough to donate $2 million to our hospital. We were nice enough to put his name on the lobby. But what you're looking at here, very colorful children's hospital. I have to say that if you What I've been told recently is that if you come by the hospital at night and you drive around, because it's kind of a circle drive, it looks like Hogwarts. Because you have a rainbow of lights that circle around, and then you've actually got teardrop lights that come down into the main lobby. The lobby that you look at on the right, that is actually our surgical waiting area. So a lot of people have a really nice view. The tiles, the fossils down in the ground that you see are also up in a etched window. That is kind of from your Ice Age. What they're talking about here in the Midwest is that after the glaciers had come through, this is a lot of what you would see in our area here in Michigan. So a current artist that lives here in Ann Arbor designed the entire floor. So it is a really nice thing to kind of go to our roots of where we're from. This just signifies two big things that we have with tiles. This one is signifying our patient and family-centered care focus in our hospital. The larger hand being, our staff working with the children in our hospital. Patient and family-centered care focuses are really big for us. It's about getting a voice that a lot of our patients and families are on, a lot of our advisory councils, making sure that we're listening to the families, making sure that we're putting them first, and that we're working hand in hand. The other side is that we also have tiles that we had over 1,600 tiles made by patients and families that are throughout the hospital, primarily in our outpatient building. It was a fundraiser for the hospital, but the other part is that patients and families got to feel that they were a part of the hospital, that their art would be lasting with the hospital. So it's really great. I actually got to meet a grandmother the other day that her grandson made a tile. We actually have a searchable database. We can look them up, and it would be like James Haberlin, and I can take them right to his tile and show them where they're at as part of our hospital. So it's a really nice thing that people know that we've done something with that and that they're part of this beautiful new hospital. These butterflies, it's a lot of artwork throughout our hospital. The quick joke about this is that construction zone, a lot of guys drinking your Monsters, your Arizona iced teas, all of that. The artist was actually looking for something to print these butterflies out of, and those are actually all Arizona iced tea cans. When you're up close, they've kept a couple that are still like the actual green tea bottle that you can see the pattern on it. Otherwise, it's maize and blue. But all of those were recycled from our hospital. Hospital being a lead certification, not lead paint, but LEED, kind of a going green. One of the big things about our hospital, all of the materials that left our hospital as trash, we recycled over 86% of that became recycled. Really trying not to pollute. One of the big things about our hospital also, up on the 12th story, the top, we have a green roof. So there's a beautiful helipad as well as a living, growing roof. One of the big things is that from all the rain that hits our building, we are right next to the Huron River, and we want to make sure that any of the water that comes off of our building is not polluting the environment. So one of the things I've been told and I've learned is that any water that hits the roof of our building goes through a filtration system through our building, and when it actually leaves it, it's probably cleaner than when it came in. So it's one of those things that we're trying not to pollute the environment around us. One of the other things that we've done, most people know that in your house you have a furnace that is in the basement and it has to heat up the entire basement or to the entire house. We've actually put ours in the 6th floor, so it's in the middle of the building and it only has to push halfway up, halfway down, saving energy costs, things like that. So it's a lot of amazing things that this hospital's done just to be better and more efficient. Cafeteria, seats about 150 people. Big deal for us in the old hospital. You would walk truly almost a half a mile to get over to the main hospital's cafeteria. Now this is just right downstairs for our patients and families. As it says, we have a full service subway. We are so busy, we actually have online ordering now. Spiritual care, we have a wonderful spiritual center, chapel, open 24/7, 365. It is right on the 2nd floor so that it's easily accessible for any patients, both inpatient, outpatient. If you need to, whatever you need it for, it's there available, and there's chapels on call. Children's emergency, big deal for us, moving from the old hospital to the new hospital. Our children's emergency was actually in our adult hospital. We've actually moved over. If you had ever been in the children's emergency, it was probably about 5 to 6 rooms, and it was back in the back corner of the adult area. It is now 1/2 of our 2nd floor, and it is 35 private rooms. We've actually seen a big increase from outside people who work in rural or that go to rural hospitals. They would rather come to our hospital and sit in our emergency room than to go to their local hospital, just because they know what they're going to get. They know that they're probably going to get changed over to our hospital, seeing their own doctors. So for us, the emergency room is a big deal. just a waiting area, very kid-friendly throughout the hospital. A lot of your waiting areas, this kind of furniture, it's bright colors, fun things for the kids. This is the Family Center. This is my house and home. This is where I work. Family Center is there for anybody and everybody that's in the hospital. We offer computers, we offer educational materials, board games, books, things like that that parents can get out of the room, parents that are waiting for a surgery, parents that just need a break in between appointments. They can come into the Family Center, take a load off, sit down, let their kids play with the toys in there. And then a lot of the educational programs that go on for outside. Anyone, I was going to say Miss Palmby that just had a baby, she got to come to an OB tour. You'll be meeting in this room, some other people. If you've had any kind of community education, usually you're in the Family Center. This is up in our radiology. It's on the 3rd floor. We like to call it the tree house. As you look down the right, there's the little square windows, mainly so that the little kids can kind of look down, and it looks down onto the main lobby. Gives kids a perspective that they're in a tree house. They're up in a tree. It's a really beautiful view, wonderful colors. This is your standard patient room. Big difference, we are all private rooms, 300 square feet. Don't know what people live in a house, but 300 square foot room is pretty decent size. As you can see to the left, we have a wonderful window looking out over the Arboretum. This time of the year, the colors are amazing, as you can imagine. The blue couch on the left also is a full bed. It actually pulls out. Has a full bed that mom and dad can sleep on. Underneath storage for the patients. The orange Lazy Boy actually folds down into almost a full-size cot. And then the other thing that I like to point out when we're in the room, so if you look against the back wall, there's where all the plugs and everything is. Our rooms are actually designed that it could actually handle two full beds or 2 full patients. Reason being is that if we ever had a major disaster, if the tornado in Dexter would have been worse, and we needed to ramp up size, we could actually go from 300 to 600 beds just by having these rooms equipped so that a patient could be on both the left and the right. So one of those things that we were thinking about. Own personal private bathrooms, big deal for parents. When you used to share a room, most parents didn't feel comfortable taking a shower, getting ready in their rooms. You now have a private bathroom, so that's a big deal. 46-inch flat screen TV, more than just a TV. We like to call it the patient interactive system. It does have on-demand movies, internet, gaming, a lot of things, educational, 200 to 300 educational videos. But the big thing for us is that we are all about patient satisfaction and getting the feedback from our patients. So we actually have questions of the day that pop up. And it's things like, did somebody, when they're checking your medication, did they ask your name? Is the room clean? Are people washing their hands when they're coming in and out of the room? And one of the big things we have, so for instance, pops up, it says, is your room clean, or has it been cleaned today? And this is at like 1:30 in the afternoon. If you say no, you click on that say no, what's going to happen is that the environmental services manager on duty is going to get a page, and the expectation is that room will be cleaned within 30 minutes. Other side of it is that we have the cheers and the jeers. Let's hear the good things, but let's hear the bad things. Bad things that happen, some of you might know Adam Bonerack. He and his group of now patient safety, it used to be patient relations, they actually get a direct email that's talking about, Nurse Betty not being so nice to me, or Dr. Smith, kind of not telling me what I want to hear. So this TV really has helped us in regards to getting feedback from our patients and us not, waiting weeks, in a sense, to get those little 3x5 cards back in the mail to hear about our service. And then the other big part is that our hospital, so the points that you were looking at in that first photo, this is actually what you would be sitting in. Our hospitals tried to have respite areas. We have a respite area, so this is out looking over the Arboretum. We have a family lounge, usually in the middle, so that families can congregate. They're not stuck on the unit. They're not stuck in a room. You can have 10 or 12 friends showing up. So the hospital is really hoping to pull you out of those rooms a little bit. And then this is our neonatal intensive care unit. It is now the Chris and Nick Brandon. Dave Brandon, our current athletic director at U of M. His sons were saved by the NICU, so they were nice enough to donate money. So this is now the Brandon NICU. Photos there, really what they're representing is that the photo on the left is of usually a preemie or small child. You're talking about most of these kids have a major birth defect or were born probably 1 to 2 pounds. and now it's showing a picture of where they are at today. I like to call it our brag board, just because a lot of these kids were probably not, they wouldn't have survived in most hospitals. And these are current photos of these kids now, some 5 to 10 years later. Ronald McDonald House, we're only one of 5 hospitals in the nation that actually have a Ronald McDonald House in the hospital. 12 bedrooms, as it talks about. Not much more than your glorified dorm room, but people don't care when your child is in intensive care. You're just a mere probably 50 to 100 feet away from your child's room. So this is a big thing for a lot of our families that, they have life-threatening situations with their child, but they're just down the hall from them. They're not across the street in the regular Ronald McDonald House, or they're not at a hotel, 10 miles away. Finally, this is one of our welcome desks. One of the big things we had to do is ramp up security, having 12 stories, having a lot more entry points. This is what you would see when you come off every patient elevator. Security officers waiting there for you. If you haven't got an ID badge yet, they're going to welcome you to the unit. They're going to get you badged so that they know who you are. And they also are a guide. Everyone, it's such a big place trying to figure out where to go. These guys can direct you to the right room and let you know where your patient's at. Finally, this is what you look at when you come off the elevators. These are the patient elevators. So this is what you kind of look at. It's very colorful, very bright lights, all the fun. And that is it. Any questions? Yes, Brian?
How much did it cost?
$750 million, twice as much as the current DeVos Hospital in Grand Rapids. However, what I like to say is that it cost $750 million that was all privately funded. No state aid, no federal aid. It came out of people's pockets. I always say that Lloyd Carr is probably, outside of being the best football coach ever, is an amazing philanthropist. Let alone getting the athletes to help provide money to our hospital. He was one of the biggest advocates for our hospital out there, promoting it, getting people to come and see it. So yeah, $750 million, cost a couple of dollars, but it truly is state of the art when you start talking to other hospitals, you start seeing what other hospitals offer. So, yes.
What's the capacity right now? I mean, is it monitor about 60% or?
We are, so we're running almost at what we consider full capacity right now. So we are filling 220 beds. The 348 that we had is for future growth. One of the units on our 8th floor, we're actually only using half of the unit currently, so there are 35 beds that are unoccupied getting ready for our child psych area. But every unit has approximately 30 beds, and most units are running at about 20 to 25 beds. Big thing is that if you know anyone that's in nursing, we've got jobs. That has been our biggest problem, is that when we moved and ramped up into this new hospital, we've been short-staffed. So that's the biggest problem, is that we don't have enough staff, even if we could fill the hospital. So big part of it is for future growth that we're planning on. Anyone else? Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Byron.
Thank you.
It was great information. I wish we had the fold-out bed 2 years ago.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? I know.
Nice.
I'm with you.
Okay, we're going to move on to awards. We have quite a few tonight. The first awards I'm going to give out are the presidential pins. My first presidential pin goes to an individual who's worked pretty tirelessly this year to help make the individual development area a success and one of the best in the state, if not the best in the state. She's helped bring several new projects to the chapter's membership and has cooked up some other great ideas as well. So please congratulate with me your individual development vice president. This is Brent Haverman. Okay, my second pin of the night goes to a person who's worked behind the scenes this year. You may not have seen her a lot since she works pretty frequently out of town, but she's there every month with all the news that's fit to print, and that person is Dina Fry, your crier. All right, next up, we're going to have Mary Jo talk about the People's Choice Award. Mary Jo, take her away.
I have ballots for the People's Choice Award, so this is your opportunity to nominate a project that ran in September
for the People's Choice Awards. I'm gonna start it over here, and then it can make its way back to me.
Yeah, we're going a little bit old school tonight. So we used to do it this way back in the day, like 2011.
Yeah.
So,
Wow, we're not time to change.
so just pass them around, and Mary Jo will collect them here in a little bit, and we'll announce the winner by the end of the night. So next up, we have our the JC of the Month Award winner is not here tonight, so we'll skip that for this evening. But we do have a ton of convention awards. We were recognized quite a bit at the convention this past weekend. As you can see, I have quite the stack here. So I'm just going to go through and read off the awards and hand them to the people that are here. The first one actually goes to one of our younger JCs, and this is in honor of Juniors JC incentives, and that is Mr. James Hibberlin. Congratulations. Next up, we have an award of excellence in recognition for the Relay for Life project. So I will present this to Mr. Danny Wurzel. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right, the next one I actually have what they wrote, so I'm going to read this as you can pretend I'm Adam Bonerack or not. It's up to you. This is for the Communications Award of Excellence. Maintaining and keeping a website up to date is hard, as I can attest to firsthand, both from working to update the MIJC website and also working to update my own chapter's website. This chapter does so particularly well. The information is current. They tie in the website to other networks like Picasa for photo sharing and Facebook for events. Their branding comes through loud and clear, and it's easy to navigate. This Communications Award of Excellence goes to a2jcs.org. Sue?
Where was I when that was passed out?
I don't know, but you got the extra award too, so congratulations. Okay, the next item is in our management area. This one, first place for business development, and that is the Zingerman's Tour, chaired by Russ Trapp. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Yeah, management had a big night, in case you didn't hear it. The next item won third place in the children and youth area, and that is the Easter egg hunt for community. Guys, are you ready? I don't know if you have any Easter eggs. If you have any church, you're glad. Scott, this one's for your area. This one, first place overall for the chapter Ways and Means area, and that is Summer Carnival. I know. All right, this one is for the first place in the individual development area. The entire area took first place in the state for the second trimester in a row. Karen, completing
It's on this membership NID, right?
That is, yeah. You can, well, good job. You get the wood, she gets the paper. How's that?
I'm just lost on the trimester.
You get the wood, she gets the paper. That is the second trimester in a row. Show everybody your file. All right. Congratulations.
You get wood, you get paper.
Well, I knew Scotty would say something there.
Whoever,
All right.
one person should get it from last trimester, one person.
Exactly.
Because I know you guys like got it up in your house.
All right, so the next award is the management area of the trimester. We were nominated for that. We actually won it. So Scott, would you like to come up and? Brandwood.
Oh, nice. Cool stuff.
Those are anniversaries coming up.
Good stuff. Too bad I was too busy to go to this event.
And last but certainly not least, I know she's not here to accept this, but hopefully Jerry can. The 4th of July parade took first place overall for government and civic involvement.
How's work here, Stephanie? Thank you.
You know her? I know her. Okay.
I'm just gonna steal it.
Okay, in addition to those, we have one more to give out. And this goes to everybody, actually. This is the first place overall for second trimester for the Parade of Chapters. We were the top chapter in the state as far as programming and stuff we did this trimester. So give her all. This is the little one. That's the big one. So everybody can take a look at that. In addition to that big trophy, we have something that'll fit pretty well in the Halloween bash, I think. A little coffin. For those of you who've been around a while, this used to be a lot bigger and a lot heavier. I'm very happy to say that they actually got rid of that behemoth. And it's just big enough to fit a bottle of champagne and a couple other little things. Maybe next GMM or somewhere down the road, we have a video of them actually burning it, so if anybody's interested in that, we can post on YouTube and
We'll put it on the web.
and go from there. So the funny thing is they brought the new one in. There was a special presentation from all the Michigan Jaycees, and they brought this in. It was wrapped up in 2 pillowcases, a comforter, and it was all on an ironing board. So it looked huge, and was unwrapped to reveal this. So they were trying to be tricky. But anyway, this comes with that big trophy back there. So congratulations to us. We have one more special presentation that I'll bring up Sue Fulton for.
Thank you. As some of you may know, I am doing the Return the Favor Award for the Michigan JCI Senate. For those of you in the room who are not aware of what the Michigan JCI Senate is, it's a group of the senators in the state of Michigan. So if you don't know what a senatorship is, it's the highest award that a chapter can bestow upon its member, or one of its members, for service above and beyond the call of duty is what I like to say. And I did some calculations when I presented this last Saturday. So keep this in mind. This organization's been in existence for 88 years. And it's involved in over 100 countries around the world during most of that time. And there have been millions of JCs over that entire period that have been active in the organization. Yet worldwide, over all this time, there are less than 72,000 senators. In fact, I think the number is something like 71,500, something around there. Michigan is proud to have over 1,200 senators during that time frame. And right now, about 400 of them are still active, paid dues. Yes, we pay our own separate dues from the JC organization. And I went looking through the master lists that I have that are maybe a few years old, but Ann Arbor has over 30 senators over all this time. So it's a great honor. And next week, the Michigan JCI Senate will celebrate its 40th anniversary. And while reviewing the history for that program, it was noted that in the Constitution it states that the Michigan JCI Senate exists for the purpose of camaraderie and service to the Michigan JCs. Many senators are well established in their communities, and every chapter, every JC chapter has first dibs on those people as a resource. In fact, you're using me as a resource for your website. So we honored a senator, and I'm going to like to read why he was nominated. This senator hails from one of the oldest chapters in the state. At the beginning of this year, the board of directors of his home chapter lost their management vice president. When asked to help out the management area with the day-to-day tasks it needed to survive, he enthusiastically said yes. Since that time, he has guided them in the planning, development, and running of their major management projects such as Poker Night, Taste of Ann Arbor, and their summer carnival. His chapter president remarked, "I can absolutely say that we would not have had the success we had in the management area without his help." And on top of all that, he has done all of this while planning his wedding and redecorating his house. In fact, he wasn't with us last weekend because that's the weekend he picked to get married. And so Tom was gracious enough to come up on stage and receive this award on behalf of Scott Chisholm, who was recognized as the second trimester Tony Karasevich returned the favor Memorial Award, Senator 62415. And they changed it to Scott, so it's Daisy Blue now.
Hey, very nice. I like that. Very cool.
Congratulations.
My speech, this is about as long a speech I would give if I actually got it. Thank you. No, I appreciate it. It's fantastic.
Thank you, Scott.
You know, Scott, you took the words right out of my mouth, because that's exactly what I said. Okay, thank you, Sue. And Scott, thank you for all your help this year. Now we move forward with the foundation report led by our foundation president, Ms. Faith Boyson.
Good evening, everybody. All year long, we've been telling you about the foundation and all the great things that we've been doing with raising money and being able to give money back. And I think we probably mentioned to you guys last month, we were able to give out 5 grants to worthwhile organizations in the community. I've been personally presenting them at board meetings, and it's been very, very rewarding to see the faces of the board of directors. And even if it's $425, just the thanks that they give us and the gratitude and the appreciation. And so it's really, really nice to know that we are making a difference in the community, which I think is very, very exciting. And in order to keep doing these grants, we need to keep raising money. So we have a couple of things that we're working on over the next couple of months. One thing that I think is pretty exciting is we're doing a beer tasting for charity. Drink some beer, make a difference is kind of my tagline for this event. Scott Chisholm has been working very diligently with Wolverine State Brewing Company to get this set up. So on October 18th, there will be a beer tasting at Wolverine State Brewing Company. It costs us $20 in advance, $25 at the door, and you will get a receipt for the tax-deductible portion of that. So if you'd like to try a few new beers, you'll get 4 samples, you'll get some refreshments, appetizers, that type of thing. And knowing that the money will go towards our grant fund will give you a sense of giving and that gratitude that we're giving to those other organizations you'll feel as well by coming and helping us drink some beer and make a difference. So put that on your calendars, October 18th, it's a Thursday, $20 in advance, $25 at the door. You can use PayPal, which I think is great, very convenient. If you go to our website, thank you, Sue, for putting that up for us.
There is a $1.
There is a $1 service fee if you use PayPal. But I know I'm a convenience person, so I'm willing to pay for convenience. Another thing that we're working on is a Dine to Donate / trivia night. We're working with Cubs AC right now. It's still in the planning stages, but we're targeting November 9th. We're just waiting for the finalized amount as to what it is if they're willing to donate back, whether it be 15% or 20%. So we're still working on that. But it's a Friday night, November 9th at Cubs AC. We have a great partnership with them, have for quite some time now. And really looking to work with them again. As we mentioned previously, our scholarship fund is in full swing. And application, the deadline is October 10th. So again, if you know somebody who attends Washtenaw Community College looking for $500 extra to go towards books and fees and whatever they might need, please tell them to go to our website and fill out the application. It's very simple. We don't ask for a whole lot of information, and we're very excited for the first time to be able to give out the scholarship. And one last thing is our script program. Some of you have probably seen Karen Hilligan sent out an email earlier this week or last week about getting gift cards and being able to, you buy them, you don't pay anything extra, we get a percentage off the ones that you buy. A lot of them are Script Now, where you can just print them right off of the email that gets sent to you. Some of them still get mailed the old-fashioned way. But it's a great way to support the foundation. If you're going to use these places like Bed Bath & Beyond, Chili's, Red Robin, any of these places, you can buy the gift cards. It doesn't cost you anything extra, and the foundation gets a little kickback to help go towards our grant funds. So those are some of the things that we have going on right now.
Faye, are you having a neck problem?
I am. There's something wrong with my neck. I slept on it wrong or something, I think.
Well, I think you should come to our massage with a cause that we're having on Thursday night.
When is it?
It's Monday night.
Ah, okay, that sounds like a good idea.
This is another project that the foundation's running, and that was Faye's cheesy idea VP coming out. Incorporate that into her speech. But Zena Manassa, who owns In the Clouds Massage Therapy, has graciously offered to run a foundation fundraiser. So if you go in Monday between 4 and 8, 20% of massages that she gives, as well as if you buy any gift cards or schedule any future appointments during that time, she will donate 20% of that back to the foundation. So there's a few yellow flyers around, and there's some on the back table. It's first come, first serve, no reservation needed, but we hope that you'll go and support one of our own local businesses as well as the foundation.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you, Faye and Michelle. Now we're going to get into the area reports, and we'll kick it off with ID and Karen Everland. Karen, you're up.
We are cooking during third trimester. We have all kinds of fun stuff coming up. First up to talk about our Google Docs training would be Donnie Wurtzel.
Hello, everyone. We have a Google. Let me grab this. We have a Google Docs event coming up with Josh. Has been awesome enough to go through with everyone. I mean, I think this is awesome. Doing my first event this year, I didn't know much about Google Docs, and Josh walked me through it. So anybody who doesn't know much about it and just getting involved, I think it's a great way to learn about it and come and join. Because we have some food, we have Josh speaking, what else do we need, really? You know? So we came up with a little, me and Karen came up with a little list of why Google Docs is so great and what we use it for. So we said the first one would be, it's great for just collaborating on documents, you know, with colleagues and, you know, the Jaycees. That's how we kind of get things going to see, you know, with everything. It's also becoming more productive. It allows you to send things to each other and just, you know, not have to email back and forth. It's just a lot easier. I wish I would have had this in college, you know, when I'm sending papers to my mom and stuff for proofreading. So rather than email them back and forth, you could just set up an account and Josh will teach you how to do that, and it's just a lot easier. I know friends who have started to use it with setting up, you know, weekly, you know, going out to dinners and stuff on the weekend, just kind of a group, almost chat. They use it like that. So if you're wanting to plan an event or a party, you can use it that way. You know, whether it's just a, you know, with somebody at work or, as Karen said, you're in Phyllis, you know, any way it works. And I have also groups of friends that just use it, you know, versus email chain just to keep in chat with each other, you know, keep in touch, tell each other what they're doing. So there's a variety of things you can use it for, and we are very involved with using it with the Jaycees. So if you don't know how to use it or you just want to learn more, we're going to be having that on November 5th at 7:30. And Ed's we're doing it at Ed's work, so he's been gracious enough to allow us to host it there. So it's going to be fun. You know, we'll have some food, and we'll learn a lot, so come on and join.
Josh, anything else you want to add?
The best thing you should do is bring your own laptop if you have one, or at the very least a smartphone or a tablet. Laptop will be more functional, but otherwise we'll provide it.
Thanks. Mr. Meyer, you want to talk about JJJ?
Junior JC Jamboree. So as you see here, the Watson Orchard. I would say definitely if you want to come out, because I don't know if anyone knows, but apples are at a premium this year. You'll probably start paying about, I don't know, $10 for a gallon of cider and things like that. So I have a feeling that this being a little bit smaller of a place, that you have a better chance for better pricing. Just knowing that we've been there before. Unfortunately, I coach flag football, so I cannot make it this day. We were so thankful that the Palm Beach started helping us with events in the beginning of the year. But yeah, so Junior Jaycees in October, but then definitely for November, December, be prepared. We'll be doing the Thanksgiving dinner. Having small children, I promise you I will be bringing enough amenities and toys for everyone. So
Crafts, I've got a craft.
crafts and all the fun stuff, and cookie decorating, so more to follow.
Happy to go on. And last but not least for ID is Lindsay Blackwell. We'll talk about nothing but nets.
So our international enrollment
charity this year is Nothing But Nets, which is a great organization that you will learn more about in a second. We have a video to play that can do a much better job of explaining exactly the impact this organization has on families than I can. But just a heads up, we have some events in the works to help raise funds for this organization. We're working on a Euchre tournament so that we can mingle with some of the other young professionals groups in Ann Arbor, and also a trivia contest between the other District 8 chapters. And this video will explain what Nothing But Nets is.
When I donate $10 to send a net and save a life through the JCI Nothing But Nets campaign, where does my donation go? To find out, JCI traveled to Cameroon with the UN Foundation. We wanted to learn how a donation becomes a net. The first step is promotion. Fighting malaria requires cultural change. NGOs and the government of Cameroon work together to raise awareness about malaria and to help people understand why it's important to have a net and sleep under it every night. The next step is to survey every household to determine how many nets the family will need. Usually about 1 per 4 people. The family then receives a voucher. Then, during the net distribution, health workers and volunteers set up local distribution centers. Families exchange their voucher for a net, and a community health worker teaches them how to hang and care for the mosquito net. Nets have to be cleaned properly to ensure they keep their life-saving insecticide for as long as possible. Once the nets are distributed, the work isn't finished. Health workers visit the families in the weeks and months following the distribution to make sure the nets are hung properly and the family is using it. A family might even receive a text message every night to remind them to sleep beneath their net. This is Ayenga, a 3-year-old girl we met in the village of Ebanga Eboksi. Ayenga has slept under a mosquito net since birth, and she was protected from malaria until she spent one night at a relative's house without a net. Ayenga got malaria, and her parents rushed her to a community health worker, a volunteer who diagnoses and treats malaria. Ayenga's net kept her safe, and thanks to a globally funded treatment program and the dedication of the volunteer, Ayenga's life was safe. As we continue to work to end malaria deaths, the UN Foundation and other international partners are constantly evaluating their success and finding new ways to combat this deadly disease. Through increased collaboration with all sectors of society, we can work together to build a better world and a sustainable future for families at risk of malaria.
My name is Ira Obenson, Executive Director for Growth and Development with Junior Chamber International. I am here in Yaoundé, Cameroon, to spend 3 days here learning about what goes into mosquito net distribution. In my hand, I'm holding a mosquito net. We're here at an orphanage where we have been distributing mosquito nets to children in this orphanage. We have set up 3 mosquito nets here, and the children who are going to sleep on this bed tonight are going to have a life-changing experience. Their lives are going to be changed forever by simply putting up a mosquito net over their bed. They are not going to fall sick with malaria. They stand a chance of life just because of this mosquito net. What we're trying to do in Cameroon with the help of the United Nations, the Global Fund and partners and citizens in this country and around the world is to raise money to have a universal coverage in this country where every Cameroonian would go to bed under a mosquito net. That would be a life changer, a game changer for so many millions of people. So we ask for your help. We ask that you think about the impact that you can make with just a $10 donation for a net that we're going to purchase that's going to change the lives of people in this country. With just $10, you will save a life. So send a net and save a life. Thank you.
Thank you. This is not something that we see here in the States, but over there, you can die from this really, really fast. And a simple net can save your life. So it's, have this going on this fall. Lots of groups have this going on, and we're shipping our money, and we're helping to save lives. So there's some good sweet nibbles in the middle there by John, and there's no charge for them. You give
Donations.
Exactly. And what do you tell folks? Big bills?
Big bills.
You can donate $1, you can donate, a quarter, anything you
Donate
want.
as much as you want. You can go from $1 or 1 penny to $1 million.
He's a salesman in training. So that is all for us. Thank you, everybody. You'll be seeing more of us this fall.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Lindsay. Thank you, Don. Thank you, James. Next up, we have Jerry and Community King. Take it away.
Good evening. We have a couple of projects coming up that we want to talk about. The first one is our pop-top collection, and I'll have Dina come up and talk about that.
Do we have any University of Michigan fans here? Woo! Do we have any University of Michigan fans here? Are you also fans of Ohio State?
No.
Ooh, Ohio State. Each year, the University of Michigan Club of Ann Arbor collects pop-tops. These little things on top of soft drink cans and vegetable cans and pet food cans. Pop them off. They're made of aluminum. And we collect them and we accumulate them and we compete against Ohio State. And because they're collecting them as well. And so so we can have some bragging rights about not only what we do on the field and beat them, but how big our heart is as well. So what they do is they collect them, and then they donate them to Ronald McDonald House, which, as we saw from Byron, a good tie-in today. There's a Ronald McDonald House within the hospital, but there's also one across the street. So with families that have children that are staying in the hospital, the families can stay, rather than a hotel, it's more like a house where they can live there for however long they need to be there for the kids in the hospital. So this raises money for them as well. So it's a very simple thing to collect. You can put a little box up at work or something, put it in your home, collect them, bring them in at the next GMM. We'll deliver them before the U of M Ohio State game, and this year we will beat Ohio State, both. Hopefully.
Go Blue!
Oh, yes, we will. Go Blue!
Go Blue.
Thank you, Dina. Our other project that we have coming up is Holiday Helpers, and we're in the planning stages for that. So I have some trivia questions regarding that, and some rewards over here, I should say. The first one, this percentage of kids enrolled in the Big Brothers Big Sisters program are less likely to skip or miss school than those that are not enrolled in the program. Is it 46%, 70%, or 52%? 52, yeah. You can choose one and then, I try to get it right. The next question is, Big Brothers Big Sisters was formed in what year? 1924, 1904, or 1964?
24.
Nope.
That's amazing.
Big Brothers Big Sisters currently operates in how many different countries? 8, 10, or 12?
10, 12.
Well, and their last one, in 2011, Big Brothers Big Sisters of Washtenaw County served how many children? 475, 288, or 510? 475, yeah. So, our holiday helpers, what we do with that program is that we team up with Big Brothers Big Sisters, and the bigs take their littles and they go shopping and buy gifts for their families for the holidays. And like I said, we're in the planning stages of that. We have a meeting coming up on Monday to do that at Panera at 6:30. So if you're interested in helping out, let me know or come to the meeting, and we will get started from there.
Thanks, Jared. Got a lot of good stuff going on. Next up is Ed Rahane with the membership card.
All right, I need some volunteers. I need 4 volunteers. James. Who else wants to help? Josh, 2 more. Byron, 10. All right, so we have our tailgating project coming up, and one of the coolest games that I've seen at the tailgating is the frisbee in the garbage can.
Use the right name. Called Can Jam, dude.
And
Called
see, I
Can
don't
Jam.
even know these things. Can
Called
Jam.
Can Jam, and you have to buy the right system. You don't have the right system. Come on.
So I thought we'd do a really quick can jam, which it looks really hard to get in the 5-gallon pail. So we'll see here. We'll see if you guys can do this.
Like 10-gallon trash can, yeah, it's pretty much big.
That seems pretty easy. So we'll have.
Okay, James,
I only
you
have
throw,
one
you
bucket.
throw it to
though.
me, James, okay? I'll show you. So
So
the point is, right, you gotta throw it towards the camera.
there you go. Nice. So we do. So we'll do best of 5 here.
I've never done that before. I will say that my brother-in-law loves this game.
So we'll do best of 5 here. So you guys got one on one here. 2. Start one-handed.
While eating a cookie, and his eyes are closed. Come on, man.
Head in the game,
2 to 3.
That was your fault, by the way, Byron.
That's a little frightened by this. That's a little frightened by this.
One more. All right, guys, you guys gotta beat. You gotta get 5 out of 5 here.
Step back, brother, back.
They can still tie.
You feel tired?
No, you live close to the stadium, so we're gonna practice.
All right, now we're going for consolation. Consolation. You guys need practice.
It's not pity.
Let's limit on the thrower.
Lay down the thrower. Well, that was the frisbee's fault.
Taking out the crowd.
All right, good job, guys. So we have our clear winners. We're just going to give a big round of applause. All right, so we'll see everyone at the tailgate. It'll be a lot of fun. We get to play games like that, and there's a million more that you can play. Just walk around the golf course. You'll have fun. So hope to see you guys then. Real quick.
Oh, yeah, I just wanted to really quick say something. I'm sorry it's not on here or anything like that, but we're going to start planning the year-ender. So anybody that wants to sharpen their party planning skills can contact me. I'm going to set up a time for a committee meeting, but if you contact me now, we'll make sure that committee meeting is when you can attend it. So there's a sign-up sheet if you guys want to join the committee, or just come talk to me.
Thanks, Melissa. And there's also a sign-up sheet for the tailgate in the back, and there's also Facebook.
And last and certainly not least, the management area led by your Return of the Paper Award winner, Mr. Scott.
Well, as you can see by the agenda, there's not a ton going on in the management. One thing that I do want to say is we had a trip planned to the Ford Rouge plant, and we actually decided to scrap that and come up with a different business tour because the only good days to go to that are like weekdays at 4 o'clock. And how many of you can get off work and go to a tour at 4 o'clock on a weekday? Okay, we got one in the crowd. And I think that the turnout would have been a little, there's 2. But, so we're working on a few other things. If you have any really good ideas for a business you'd like to tour, please let me know. I'm working on a few myself, but other than that, I'll talk to you afterwards. Other than that, the other big project we got coming up is a big project. The Haunted Halloween Bash, and Michelle's gonna talk to us about that. I'm gonna be throwing candy around the room.
Well, I think you can probably give one to everybody. Throw it in there.
Can I just stand here and throw it to you?
Sure. Okay, I have some haunted or horror trivia. So I'm gonna read a quote, and you have to guess what movie it's from.
Oh, very nice.
Pimples are the Lord's way of chastising you.
Good shot.
I'll give you a hint. It's a Stephen King movie.
Carrie?
Oh, Carrie.
Yeah, Karen, you gotta like jump up and down.
I'm looking for that.
Oh, okay.
I just can't take no pleasure in killing. There's just some things you gotta do. Don't mean you have to like it.
Dexter.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. My gosh, I thought these would be easy. Oh man, Midnight. baseball bats and boogeymen. Beautiful. Yes. What is it? Nightmare on Elm Street. Don't argue or make a scene, because if you say anything more about witches or witchcraft, you're going to be forced to take you to a mental hospital. You don't want that, do you? What? No.
That is a horror movie.
Rosemary's Baby. And the last one. I said, I'm not going to hurt you. I'm just going to bash your brains in. The Shining.
The Shining.
So, the Haunted Monster Bash tonight is the last night that you can pay and be entered to win the gift card for people who prepay. It's $75 a couple or $40 a person. We have buses going around town advertising it to the public, and we actually have 2 sightings today. Karina had a sighting and Darcy had a sighting and posted a picture. So we have 3 buses like we did for Carnival. There's a big ad in the Observer. We're looking still for donated items for our silent auction.
Where's the fundraising for?
Oh, we're going to use the money for the Holiday Helpers project. So the money that gets raised will go right back out the door for that project. And that's helping us with our donations and getting, corporate sponsors to donate to the event as well. But we need people, so tell your family, your friends, your coworkers, your hairdresser, your barber, to come on out, because we're going to have a DJ, it's open bar, there'll be appetizers, it's 21 and over. Sorry, names. And there'll be just some contests as well as a costume contest. So,
Scott?
what? Do you have a Facebook? Yes. All right, thank you.
Thank you very much. Scott, nice throwing. Sorry you didn't, knock anybody out. Mary Jo, how are we looking for people choice? We all set?
We're all set.
Okay. You want to announce the big winner?
Done eating. Well, our winner's not here, so we can announce it.
Yeah. Let's hear one.
Okay, so this month's People Choice is Jen Captain for Outdoor Flat.
We'll give that to her next time he's here. In raising the bar this year, we have come up with some great new ideas for both new and existing projects. These ideas have helped made our projects bigger and better, thus creating more impact. That impact was rewarded this past weekend from all the awards you saw being handed out tonight. However, I want to tell you about two short stories that happened to us at convention. About how we as a chapter are impacting other chapters around the state. Some of you may have noticed that Sue Fulton has been videotaping the GMM tonight. The reason why she's taping the GMM tonight is because the Farmington area JC president came up to us and wanted to learn how to run their GMMs better. And they wanted to study what we do and kind of take it back to their chapter. So this is our idea about sending this back to them, putting it on YouTube so anybody can see it. Parents, friends, countrymen. So anyway, so if you come up, we'll kind of pan the room and we can all say hi to Farmington.
I was say I've been panning all night.
Well, we can pan again because we'll do it.
Some of you who missed the candy, I got it on film.
We'll do a 1, 2, 3 hi Farmington. Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Hi, Farmington!
All right. Awesome. The second story I want to share happened just after the Chapter of the Trimester Award was handed out. And Kristen Harris, the president of the Saginaw area JC, came up to me, and she wanted to know how she could get more information about our individual development area. Because obviously we've won 2 trimesters in a row. Our membership area is great. Our ID projects were up for I think 4 or 5 speeds just this trimester, and have been up for I think 6 or 7 overall. And they're struggling with their idea, and they came to us for help. And So you never know where you might be creating impact just by doing what you do, because other chapters see that. And so I just want to share that with you, that these bigger and better ideas and projects are creating an impact even where we don't necessarily see it. So Atka mentioned last weekend, the one thing we didn't talk about is there was the Michigan JC elections. And wanted to let you know that the person who was elected president is John Medine from Livonia. It was a contested race. He was running against Angela Klock from Lansing. And the other 2013 positions that were filled at the convention were Julie Abshire for Management Vice President, Bridget Relema for Community Vice President, Tara Mack for Individual Development Vice President, and Michelle Scott for the State Membership Director. So just so you know who your exec board is. Next year, Mr. Scott Ezekiel is the Associate Treasurer this year, and he'll be the Treasurer, I think, June next year? Yep. June next year, so give it up for Mr. Ezekiel. So he'll be on the Executive Board next year as well. So, as most of you know, we're going to be having a contested presidential race, next month as well, at the next GMM on November 1st. So I know the two candidates, Ed and Karen, are going to be reaching out to you to discuss their platforms. I think both these candidates are very qualified and will be doing a great job for us in 2013. So I know we're going to be in good hands, but I just, as we watch the contested race up at the convention, I just want to remind everybody, we're all Arbor Jaycees, so whoever wins, let's rally around them. And I just wanted to share that before we go into election season. So best of luck to both of you, and we'll see what happens, I guess, on November 1st. So let's see how much impact we can have in the next 3 months, and let's see if we can't raise that bar a little bit higher and finish the year strong. So that's all I got. Thank you. So the afterglow is going to be at Red Robin. And at this time, I'd like to call up any new members who have not been sworn in yet to get sworn in. Is there anybody who hasn't been sworn in yet? No? Okay. So with that, we are going to adjourn the meeting with the JC Creed. Let's see, since we didn't have our People's Choice Award winner here, we have Matt Miller, who did an awesome job at Oktoberfest. Lead us in.
We believe that faith in God gives meaning and purpose to human life, that the brotherhood of man transcends the sovereignty of nations, that economic justice can best be won by free men through free enterprise, that government should be of laws rather than of men, that Earth's great treasure lies in human personality, and that service to humanity is the best work of life.
Say goodbye to Farmington.
Bye.